Hello there everyone, this is I Am Mark 3 coming at you with another nice, chilled out and totally relaxed game that can't have anything go wrong ever. Yeah, right. Welcome to Surviving Mars. I just thought that, it might be a good one to have a quick go at. Just go to the red planet, build futuristic space colonies and try not to mess up too much, city builder, sim game, fun thing, yay. And I'm already doing great. I'm just trying to get back in the groove, so, just the thing. So, let's see if we can make a little series of it. We're going to start with a new game here. So, game, and no thank you, I think I know how to play this game after this long, thank you. I wish it wouldn't give me that pop-up, but it keeps doing it. Yeah. Admittedly, this is a game that I believe I streamed once when I first got it, just testing it out, and then since then I've not really done much of anything with it as far as the channel's concerned. So this is also my first serious attempt at going at it as well, so we're just going to be piling in here. For mission sponsor, I think I'm going to pick one of the new ones that came in with the Space Race DLC. So that's either Brazil or Japan. So, Japan, hard difficulty starts with 6 billion, 50 applicants though. I think that is actually really low compared to most of them. Low on applicants. Wasp drone, faster flying drones, automatic metal extractors, rovers, cost and weight reduced by half, exploring sectors grants additional research points, which is quite nice, and all specialists perform better. However, they get applicants more slowly as their drawback. So these guys, you have to breed them up on Mars. Brazil is the other new one. Normal difficulty, 9 billion, 100 applicants. They get a large supply pod. Supply pod is something else that came in with Space Race, by the way. It's a one-use rocket, basically. More limited cargo, but also far cheaper. And it comes in one way, and then that's it. So it just they strap something to some boosters and throw it at the Martian planet, and that's it. Anyway, rare metals refinery turns waste rock into rare metals. That looks quite nice, actually, seeing as normally waste rock you can't do anything with it until you can research to extract concrete from it. So that's potentially a useful thing. Colonists grant funding when they arrive on Mars. So inbound colonists, they pay you. Passengers have no resource. Passengers, not passengers. Sorry. Passengers cost no resources and are constructed instantly. And colonists suffer no penalties when using passengers to work or visit connected domes, which is actually really good. Passengers are usually like 20 or so concrete each for a mid to long range one, so not that hard to fund them, but no penalties is nice, because if they have to work or visit other domes, it does inflict a relatively minor but constant morale penalty of like -5 or something like that if they have to do it. Which means that a bigger city which is more than one dome is usually going to get a bit uppity, let's put it that way. They also get 5 free large supply pods. I'm seriously tempted to go with Brazil for this, just because they may be a normal one, but they've got some nice benefits. They do have to use the awful bog standard wheeled drones though, so yeah. Brazil. Commander profile. There's a bunch of stuff we could go for here, but I have a very firm favourite, which is Inventor. Drones are gradually optimised to work and construct faster until Sol 100. So for the first 100 sols, which is I think it's years, technically, yeah. First 100 years, my drones get faster and better. The bonus tech is autonomous hubs, which is actually a breakthrough research, so you struggle to get it normally. Autonomous hubs. Drone hubs no longer require power or maintenance. Power means I can put them down anywhere without connecting to my power grid, and maintenance means that they don't, they don't suffer wear and tear. They can still get broken by events and things, but unless that happens to them, they don't degrade, and if they do degrade, normally it would take electronics, which is a bit of a trickier one to get. Some of the other ones are nice, but I just love Inventor, so I'll take that. It's kind of like an average one as well. Colony logo. I want my great space thing to be known by... I don't know. Look at that Martian face. Let's go with the Brussels sprouts, just because it's in there, you know? Brussels sprouts. Aesthetic choice that has no effect on gameplay. Gee, I wonder why. Now, random. Sorry, mystery, not random. I'm not going to go random. I'm going to pick one out. I think I'll go with the Dredgers. Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. By Arthur C. Clarke. Milesgate's the only one who actually finished, which is actually one that actually needs you to do some combat. So, you know, it's a bit odd. Rival colonies, 3 randoms. Yeah, that's fine. That means there's some competition going on. And game rules as the last thing. So, we can modify our difficulty as we go. And I normally increase difficulty a little bit, but I have learned some preferences in what I like. So, tech variety. It shuffles up the techs a bit, so it's a bit randomised what order I get them in. It doesn't do it as much as Chaos Theory, because Chaos Theory is just total random within the fields, so you could get the end game tech right as the first tech for really cheap in Chaos Theory. That can happen quite often. Tech variety is a bit randomised, but difficulty of the techs kind of like in the same area, so you won't get the late game stuff until you get deep into it. Amateurs is another nice little one. It means I only get people that are unspecialised. So that means any specialist I have to train myself. Definitely a drawback at first, but if you can get good education, you can overcome it. Armageddon, meteor rating set to max. Normally this is actually either has no effect or it's actually good. Unless the meteors fall on your base, in which case it's bad because they can knock out a lot of stuff really quickly. But meteors actually occasionally give you a little bit extra resources and things like that. So, you know, stuff like that. Dust storms to max I am not going to do because that breaks literally everything. Hunger, can't import food. I'll take that one. Inflation, nah. Long ride, nah. So yeah, inflation basically means that stuff imported from Earth gets more expensive as time goes on. It's okay, but I don't want the hassle with it. Long ride trebles the travel time for stuff coming to Earth, so it can take a really long time for rockets to get to and fro. Rebel Yell. Colonists periodically become renegades. Crime is more severe. That's okay. I've not really seen much by way of effects from that, except that sometimes people aren't working and they nick stuff. So, last arc can only call 1 passenger rocket. Leave that off. That is a serious handicap, especially early on. I mean, if you look, it's 520%. It's an extra 100% difficulty if you do that. Twister, leaving this one off as well, because Dust Devils, it's one of the ones that outright breaks stuff. I don't like that. Then lastly, Winter is coming. Winter is coming. Join the Night Watch. Winter is coming. Cold Waves rating set to max for all locations. Cold Wave, increase power consumption even more. So a cold wave, I think it's like I think it's double with Winter is coming on, so it doubles the power consumption on anything that you've not properly sheltered. But that's the thing, properly sheltered. With Armageddon and Winter is coming, you can actually adequately prepare for them if you get the tech and build yourself accordingly. Meteors, eventually you get meteor defenses. Cold wave, Cold Wave, you can get underground heaters, which you can build to fortify stuff against it. So, you know, you can actually do something about that. Twisters you can't stop. Dust storms, not only can you not stop them, they break things, as I said. It's like massive amounts of damage to everything, and then everything breaks. Also, solar panels are greatly impeded. Wind generators are boosted a bit, but then they break as well because of the dust, so not great. Anyway, let's see. Let's get 4 drone hubs, a fuel refinery. That's fine for that. I want to get my RCs if possible. Actually, it's my initial one, so I want to get some probes in. I'm not going to save scum this. I'm just going to point that out. Okay. I want to get at least 1 drone. to build stuff, but I want an explorer. I might have to go without... Let's drop the fuel refinery. I'll order it in, don't worry. Because I need a fuel refinery before I can send my rocket back, but I won't have it immediately. And I guess I'll ditch one of the drone hubs as well. That's my kind of minimum. Like, I want 3 hubs at least. Everything else I can sort out for myself. Wow, these rockets aren't very good, are they? Jeez. Okay, I'll bring in the RC Commander separately then. But I'll have to bring in some drones to compensate. So, 6 orbital probes, that's a bit high, but I'll bring them. 3 drones, 5 each, polymers, machine parts, and electronics. I won't actually need electronics, really. Might need machine parts. Polymers, you need at least 5 to bring in. Just because you need them for batteries. You can start without them, but it's much better if you have at least some polymers. And then I've got the drone hub. And the fuel refinery should arrive before I'm ready to build it, so yeah. There we go. And I think I'll call this Barge of the Sticks, because any colonist who comes this way is not going to leave. Let's be honest. Okay, we need ourselves a location, and I know we're over 10 minutes in already, and I'm only just picking. That's because I was like waffling on as we went. So, I'm not really playing for a hard game. I said that before. Otherwise, I'd have like cranked things up. This is not going to be a max difficulty kind of thing. Max dust storms. Yeah. So I'm looking for a site with good resources, but I want dust devils and dust storms to be low. Unfortunately, if you combine that with high resources, it kind of restricts whereabouts you can go on Mars, because Mars is not the best place to be, oddly enough. Though on the bright side, because I'm not having to check for cold wave or meteor levels, it's, you know, stuff like that. Honestly, I don't think I've started a game since the option came in without Armageddon on, just because I like it too much. Yes, I like living in an Armageddon. I guess that's official now. Tempting. 33 by 120. Except for the maximum dust storms. Ah, that's a better one. It's got maxed out resource scores. 475. It's got a slight chance of dust devils, but dust devils are actually more of a local disturbance than a dust storm. Though dust devils, as I said, are guaranteed to break stuff. But at least 2 is not actually that bad still. Dust storms, 1. That's perfect. So this colony is dropping on 4 degrees south, 112 degrees east. That'll do. Hey! I'm not sure what... I think that's why I've never done this game before, really. I'm never quite sure what I'm going to do with it. So apologies if I ramble too much. Welcome to Mars. Here we go. Sorry, just wetting my whistle. Right, welcome to Mars, Commander. Everyone on mission control is impatient to see the rocket touching down and unloading precious cargo. Our remotely controlled eyes and hands on the red planet, the drones and rovers. Our goal is to secure a foothold for humanity by building the first Martian dome. This daunting endeavour will allow the brave pioneers, the founders, to settle on Mars and prove that a colony is sustainable. But until then, we have to make sure the colony has enough construction resources, water, oxygen and power. Mission sponsor Brazil, commander profile inventor, close. Okay, and we're also pausing immediately. And we've got the tutorial. So designate the landing point. A promising one has been scanned for resources already, but I don't tend to like that, so that's why I brought 6 probes along, just so I can try and set up somewhere else. So, starting sector has got 116 loose metal and 1,500 concrete, and it's over here. Okay, that's fine. However, I want to be a bit more centralised, so I want to actually drop a colony somewhere around here, like E to F, middle of the map kind of thing. So now, centralised resource hub for my initial starting point. Let's see, research. Activate my research. Have we got anything good here? Research checks. As I mentioned, we've got shuffle, but we have actually looked out quite a lot on this. We really have looked out in some ways. There is something missing, which is we don't have farms in biotech, which is one that I'm going to have to find. Well, I don't have to find it, but I really find it before I try to colonize. Just because it's so much better than having those compact tower farms. It's like, ugh. And another one potentially would have been good is increased passenger capacity, but that's usually a bit deeper in. Increased cargo for rockets is a fairly good one though. But the three important ones, this is why I've looked out here. Robotics, physics, and social all have ones that I want. Two of them are ones I want as soon as I can find them. Though we've also got one that's important as well in this game, because we've got cold waves, we actually have access to the subsurface heater tech right from the word go. So we can prepare our base pretty much from the start to survive a cold wave, which is great. But the ones I want though, robotics. 100 per soul for each RC Explorer. So I've got one of those along, so that's 100 per soul bonus tech from right from the start. Grab it. And the other one is Earth Mars Initiative, social. Increased research provided by the sponsor by 100. So again, right from the start. And I'll take subsurface physics as third, and just for heck of it, fuel compression as fourth. But if I get those two, I'll treble my basic sponsor provided research. However, I also always outsource 5,000 tech for 1 million in the next 5 sols. There was a slight downgrade to outsourcing though, and that is the fact that you used to be able to just like spend it as long as you had the money. Now you can only have one outsourcing active at once, which is a bit of a shame because I used to spam like 3 billion into like tech at the start of the game, and it's like, oh, I can't do that anymore. I can't get massive amounts of tech for the first 5 days. It's a bit. I think it was balanced just because of the space waste thing, though. Anyway, this is roughly where I want to be, middle of the map. So let's go ahead and probe it. We've got metal, a little bit of metal, good bit of concrete. This part has got some unbuildable terrain in it, but it's okay. Let's actually drop here first. Oop, got a tech. Here? Metal and a science mystery. Nothing there and nothing there. Ooh, we've got double resource patch. However, no water, which is not the best. So I'm going to scan. Oh, wait, we had one probe left. Toy. Oh, well, we found a research spot though. That's nice. But I'm thinking that with what we've got so far, it's time to start working out where I'm going to be. I can either base myself here or here. We've got the guaranteed concrete there. If I can get my zones right, I could be able to do some more stuff. Let's drop ourselves down first. Let's get our rocket in. Though the lack of our remote vehicle is a little bit of a hassle, must admit. Let's just throw it down here. Because I'll definitely be working that concrete, so it should be in reach of something from this particular spot. Just do it like that. Right. Got our research set. We got get our scan site set. Let's queue that up. Just start to scan it around. We'll pick up pace with that later. By the way, if you're curious, I am listening to Quantum Sonics. It's the one I like most out of this game. And sectors scan, I've done that. Rockets coming down, all set. Okay, right. That just leaves, unfortunately I forgot to check what was in the rocket before I called it in. I can do that now though. Right, we have the Transport and the Explorer. We need more stuff. So, it's time to use one of those free supply pods. There we go, large supply pod. Normally it costs like a couple of $100 mil to bring in. But we've got it free, and they're pretty big as well. They're actually about as big as the rocket, which basically means I've got 5 free trips just bringing supplies in. I can't send passengers by cargo pod for some strange reason, but there you go. Right, I'll bring in the commander, which is the last RC unit I need. I'm going to bring in some additional supplies because I need that. In particular, I'm going to need more of those. And that's filled it up just because of the RC commander being in there. So that one will launch. That's our RC payload sorted. Next, we need the fuel system, which I'll bring in as well. So another large supply pod. bring in prefabs, I will bring in a fuel refinery. We don't know where water is, so I'll bring in a moisture evaporator as well, which is another 200 million down the drain, but there you go. And I'll start preparing for colony initiation, so we'll bring in some of the new buildings. Oh, we could get a Stirling generator as well, actually. We've got enough weight for it. I don't normally go for those, though. Anyway, yeah, this is some new stuff that came out, I think, with the space race, which is machine part factory and electronics factory. They are always a bit of a pain in the starting domes because they're like really big. But there's now small versions as well, which are really compact. They're about the size of an old, well, the normal grocer. So really, really compact. They can't produce as much, of course. They're smaller, they can't have as many people, but they're really good for a starting thing before you need like massive amounts of stuff. And I think I'll also bring in a little bit more polymers, and let's bring in a drone as well. Let's do that. Right. So that's almost all the starting equipment I need. I'll bring in the last shipment, which is going to be the polymer factory, since I need that. I could bring another fuel refinery to just up fuel production further, but don't really need it to start out. I'm thinking a bit more, yeah, bring in some more drones, as well as a bit more polymer and mech parts. So there we go. Out of 5, we've already launched 3 before we've even touched down. It's almost like the mission commander has this strange knowledge of what's might to be expected on Mars. Weird, isn't it? I wonder how they appointed a psychic to be in charge of the Mars landings. There we go. We've got a couple of drones. We've got our RC, and we've got stuff. The RC is going to actually go straight for the tech, because that'll maybe allow the AI upgrade straight away. Have you finished unloading? You have. I have got my prefabs. Oh, I forgot to order a 4th drone hub. That's okay. I'll be fine with 3. Now, we need something with reach here. We need something with reach here. Actually, let's do that before I forget. Let's bring in the 4th pod with a drone hub. Pretty please, thank you. Drone hub. I'll ship in a bunch of extra polymers, actually. Always good to have a whole load of extra polymers at the start, and a little bit of extra machine parts and a few more drones. There we go, pod number 4. Haha. Right, let's see. What have you got? You've got 1.5 almost. We want an initial dome down here though, so let's go ahead and grab domes. I'm thinking let's put one like, if we put one here, that's all we need. I'll do that, but I'll turn it off. I don't want it building just yet. We don't have any materials after all. And we want drone hubs. So, drone hubs. Where am I going to put those? I think I like to build like a hex grid where I put initial construction stuff. So what I'm feeling like here would be a good place, because I want it to be pretty close to the stuff. So let's do it this way. I'll start you here, then that leaves a little bit of space for some storage tanks and things next to the dome as well, so you know, always good. And then my first city will actually expand outwards this way and maybe a little bit over here as well. So it's going to be a bit rough. Actually, it would be a bit too rough and dirty. Though actually, basic dome only requires concrete to fix it, so that actually might not be so bad. Yeah, let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there we go. I just like to make this a hex grid kind of thing, like that. And let's start putting them down. And I want one over this way, one all the way down here. It's going to be actually pretty close to the mining sites and things, but should be alright. It's not ideal that I'm building in a slightly compact and confined space, though, I must admit. Okay, that's the central rotation point. I'll build it there. I think you're outside rocket range though, aren't you? Yeah, you are. So, to actually get this up, we need to have something within reach of the rocket. That's not quite aligned properly, but that's okay. I can just build one here on the edge of this crater. So it's a little bit out of position by a few hexes, but nothing major to write home about. So it'll do, like that. Yeah, that'll do. And that will serve as my starting grid. And of course, since I've placed it like that, you've probably guessed the fourth one will be going somewhere around here. So let us begin. Get the drones rolling, get materials flowing. You, Mr. Rover, you're going to be actually going over here and harvesting all this stuff. The rovers have actually become quite more useful ever since they actually got modified to remove needing repairs and stuff like that. Like, they don't actually degrade anymore, and they don't have, well, they don't get dusted up, they don't have batteries anymore, and the tech which allowed them to go for longer now gives them some automatic controls on some of them, which is quite nice. Now, last few bits and pieces, we need a universal depot, because we're starting out, so I'll pop that. If I pop that here, the shuttle can actually reach it with its own drones. So that's a starting point. And we also want a couple of regular depots as well, which I like to set up. I'll have a concrete one, and a metal one, I think, is the only other one I want right now. So do that. Rumours, Japan has nearly completed a milestone. So yeah, I mentioned we would have competition. We got these 3 colonies also on the planet as well. And you know the milestones in this game? Like, if I pause it.
Let's see if this
where is
next
the
song
milestones?
influences your psyche.
No. I've forgotten. Milestones, anyway. Oh, it's down here in command interface. My bad. Right. Here we go. Yeah, so as you can see, each one's got a research value underneath it. And if the first colony to complete it gets a bonus to their research. So, yeah. There's actually a bit of competition. There's also like random events that pop up as well, and you can trade with the other guys too. But right now it's just a case of getting initial setup, so the drones are just rolling out trying to do stuff. And I'll make sure the drone hub gets built first, so max priority on that. Because that's what we need to get things sorted out. Oh, another benefit I forgot to mention, by the way, is, you know, the cargo pods? They actually move faster than the rocket, because they don't actually carry fuel. Anything like as much fuel. Well, actually, they're not built to be reusable. Let's put it that way. So they're actually built to a much lighter specification, and as a result, they're actually faster than the rockets as well.
Anomaly analyzed.
There we go.
Milestone achieved.
Milestone achieved. Scan anomaly, extra 250, and the anomaly gave me 1.5, and that gave me Earth-Mars initiative straight away. So that's extra tech to boot. Oh, nice. Oh, and it was enough to get Explorer AI as well. So I actually popped both of those at the same moment. Let's see. Crowdfunding. Get an additional $1 billion. Sounds good. We're getting subsurface heating next just because of cold waves. Probably not going to get hit this soon, but you never know when they're going to turn up. And you go and research that, please. I should actually maybe... These are all in tight clusters over here, aren't they? Yeah, okay. All the drones are up. They're all busy harvesting metal right now. So, let's get moving with the next step. We need concrete. And I've actually just looked at the episode time. I can't believe I've not got concrete after half an hour. Jeez. Well, almost half an hour, but we're basically half an hour in. And right now, a bunch of them are actually just clearing away rock from where I'm planning to put the dome. But that's all they'll do with it. Prepare the ground. Oop. Hello, Meteor. Ooh. Now that's a bit of luck. I just got 3 free polymers just crashing down right in the middle of my area. How convenient. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this part there. And don't worry, there's a bunch of parts still coming. So, this has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys will enjoy this trip to Mars. It's a been a while since I've really made anything with a city builder kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see how all this goes. Catch you all some other time.